Hello, I'm Rachel Nagle with Adventurous Heart, Phil's behind the camera, and we are back for part 2, section 2 of our Buckeye Trail section hike of the Little Loop in the northeast section of Ohio. So we're back at Medina Line Road 303, and our plan is to make it all the way up to Brecksville Reservation at the new Ottawa Overlook Backcountry sites. So journey along with us on section 2 of the Buckeye Trail section hike. Come on! As you can see, we have a little bit more road to start on. We're going to be on road for a little bit, and then we'll get to some natural surface. But because we are doing a one-night overnighter, our packs are a little bit bigger than just the camelback we were on before. So not too heavy, just going to be a quick one night, but we're set and ready to go on a fun adventure. It was just a quick walk on the road. We are going to be going into the Richfield Heritage Preserve, so we're going to be traveling a lot on natural surface trail. So make sure you look for those blue blazes so you don't miss a turn, and we're going to continue this way through the preserve. Bill said we can't go this way, there's a fence, but I'm pretty sure we're allowed to open that fence. Kind of like if there were animals, except I don't think there's animals here, but it'd be like the Appalachian Trail if you're walking along and you have to go through a fence to be able to open it. So the good thing is that it's pretty well signed as we go through here. Again, the Buckeye Trail has things you never knew that were in your backyard. I've always heard of this preserve, but I've never been here. So it's as easy as coming on the Buckeye Trail, opening the gate, and coming on in. So I'm really excited to see all the cool things here. I hear there's a couple of lakes, so we'll be able to take in all the views again in our backyard and our local community. So definitely try the Buckeye Trail, at least sections of it. At the preserve here. One, there is the Hilltop House. Not exactly sure what they use it for. We'll do a little research and let you know. But we also have a latrine here. So if you're like walking through and really have to go to the bathroom, there is that option. Though a lot of times I feel that going into the woods is a lot easier and a lot less stinky. This one seems to stink okay. It always has a little stink. But if you find something that has a little stink, maybe you can find a cool flower. I did not pick this. Leave No Trace would not allow you to pick it. It was lying on the ground and I picked it up. Any guesses what this is? This would actually be from a tree. This is a tulip flower. So it came from this tree. And if you're trying to figure out how to identify trees and leaves, a good way is if you fold in the two corners of this particular leaf, it kind of looks like a tulip flower. So it is a tulip tree. So the tulip leaf and the flower. So as you're hiking along, if you see cool flowers, take a look up. This one is not. This would be a maple above me. But you might see a tulip tree as you are traveling around. So if we turn over here, you won't be able to see it. But straight up here, I can see that these are the tulip leaves that look like that. Thankfully, we were learning a little bit more about the Richfield Heritage Preserve with this little sign. So there was a guy named Jim Kirby, and he was an inventor. And the reason he was an inventor is because he wanted to get rid of the drudgery of housework. So he decided to invent things like portable vacuums, as well as a ringerless washing machine. So all kinds of things, as well as a dam system that created a lake. So this used to be a lake, obviously not a lake anymore, but quite the inventor as he was out here. But the biggest thing that I noticed on the sign is it said he did all of this inventing of different things because he wanted to get rid of the drudgery of all of the housework and things you had to do, so he had more time for fun. I think me and Mr. Jim Kirby might have gotten along just great because we want to have more time for fun. So let's go explore and have more fun thanks to Mr. Jim Kirby and his house here on the Richfield Heritage Preserve. We've entered to the boathouse area here, and the sign said Buckeye Trail this way. I kind of looked down and take a look. I said, I don't think I want to walk along this retaining wall. This certainly can't be the right way. But then I saw some stairs and we can walk by the grass. Sounds a little bit safer to me. But super cool to be over the dam here at the boathouse. We saw some pictures of where they actually used to use this back in the day as a large boathouse area. So it was really cool to see the history that they're preserving here at the preserve. We're here at the Cuyahoga Shelter. It's the first campsite we come to on the Buckeye Trail through our section hikes. But we're not going to stay here because it's only 9:30 in the morning. We're just good and getting started. But a nice place to be able to stay if you are going to be hiking on the Buckeye Trail. You do need at least 72 hours notice. You have to get a permit from the city of Richfield. But as you can see, there's a nice place, a kitchen area where you can cook. You can see water faucets. They don't work, so make sure you bring your own water in. And then there is a latrine back here, a big open grassy field you can set your tent up, and then it looks like some little shelter houses as well. So a good option, great option if you're out here on the Buckeye Trail. We're leaving Richfield Heritage Preserve, but if you camp there, the good thing is there's a giant eagle right here. So if you need to restock on food or before you go in, there's a great option to be able to do that before you enter or as you're leaving. But for us, we packed food. It's only one night, so not too much. So we are going to continue, and we're going to be on the road for quite a while until we reach Brecksville Reservation. The road section is finally coming to an end as we enter Brecksville Reservation. We're going to follow the all-purpose trail, APT, for a little while, and then we'll end up on some natural surface, but a couple miles on the all-purpose trail. So we'll continue on to Brecksville Reservation. Camp's only about 4 miles away, so we should get in pretty early. So we'll probably stop for lunch here in a little bit, but enjoy the park. We've decided to stop for lunch just on the opposite side of the road. There's a nice wooded area, so some good options for lunch. You might think it's gross if you're not a backpacker, but it tastes really good. So just take a tortilla shell, peanut butter and jelly. So it's a peanut butter and jelly tortilla. It's one of my favorite backpacking meals. You don't have to cook it, it's simple. Phil's more of a meat guy, so he's going the good old traditional beef jerky. And then we have an apple, so it's just a short trip, so not too much to be able to carry in. And then some trail mix, just some pecans, pretzels, and some M&Ms. So nice little lunch while you're out on the trail. Nice little frog on the side of the trail. A bunch of them were just jumping in. He's still stationary. It's really cool because it's just under a fallen tree. Nice little habitat built for them. Oh, there he went. Bunch of them swimming. Stay on the trail. After walking on the all-purpose trail, we finally made it to the heart of Brecksville Reservation. Just up ahead is Deer Lick Cave, so you get to see the splendor of that area. The cool thing about that is where the Buckeye Trail splits, and we'll finally get to that little loop that we were planning to do. So this whole thing before was from our house to the little loop along the Buckeye Trail. We're back on Natural Surface Trail, my favorite. The roads are good too, but nothing beats pure nature.
Wait a second, what hole are we on?
8? 7? Little rascals. They usually go with 7. Let's go with 7.
7? Okay.
Anyway, we are on the Buckeye Trail and it skirts around Sleepy Hollow Golf Course. So if you're into golfing, you can't enter this way, but if you just go up 21, you can get over and do a little golfing. But kind of cool to see. If you're back in the area in the winter, you can go cross-country skiing or snowshoeing on the golf courses as well. So a little bit more opportunities out here.
There's the trail.
Yep, so we're going to continue down the trail.
There's
Again,
the road.
It's the Natural Surface Trail, and it goes right alongside the All-Purpose Trail, but the Buckeye Trail has allowed us to be able to go on the non-paved surface, which I appreciate.
Definitely. A little bit of poison ivy along the trail, but the track's pretty wide, so it's not too bad.
It's kind of a lot in some sections. If you remember,
yeah.
in the last video, the first video, remember you want to have those gloves for the outside one, and then the one in the middle are your two thumbs on the side. So very classic, good example of poison ivy. So no pushing through this area, Phil.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like to wear pants, right? Like shorts.
I like a little bit of aeration.
A little bit of aeration. Yeah, you can, if you have the zip offs, you can unzip a little bit. I created a new fashion trend out west in the John Muir Trail. Got a lot of commentary on that.
He did, definitely. But I don't really like the zip offs because probably a female thing. Wherever the zip offs are, when you squat down, it puts more pressure on your legs than I prefer. So I haven't found a really good zip off pair that I like. So hence, still shorts and pants in the backpack.
Yeah.
But everything in backpacking you'll learn comes down to personal preference.
Absolutely.
So throughout some of these videos, I'll give you tips, tricks, but in the end, it's what works for you. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for Phil. What works for Phil doesn't necessarily work for you. So try to, you know, find different resources and go out and do it and see what works the best for you.
Hike your own hike.
That's right. Hike your own hike, live your own life. Almost to Deer Lake Cave, come on. You can actually already feel how much cooler it is as you're walking in because it is Deer Lake Cave. Now, not really a true cave, more of a rock overhang, but it is known as Deer Lake Cave. The cool thing of why it's known as Deer Lake Cave is because a long time ago it used to be under part of the ocean. The ocean has salt. Salt ended up in some of the sandstone, and deers would come over and lick the rock, hence Deer Lake Cave. So part of Cleveland Metroparks Reservation, Deer Lake Cave. And as we were walking through, Phil actually got like a little teary-eyed as he realized that Rascal, who you've seen in other videos, our Australian Shepherd dog, this was the location of his first hike.
It's just water under the bridge. Rach?
Something like that. You mean take time to relax on the bridge? I mean, after all, that's what backpacking's all about, right? You walk a lot so you can see gorgeous, awesome things. So we're just chilling out. You know, your backpack, it's just like a Crazy Creek chair, but it's not as heavy because you already have it with you. So just lean back, enjoy, look up at the trees blowing in the wind. Sometimes you can see clouds, see what the shapes are. Just take time to really relax and enjoy it while you're out here.
And we got plenty of time too. I mean, there's a Honey Hut ice cream not too far from here.
Do you notice this, right? You're noticing that when Phil is involved with backpacking, it always has to do with ice cream somewhere.
Something sweet.
Right? And so we're probably going to set up camp and then walk an extra couple miles just so Phil can get his ice cream because we got in nice and early. We were hoping to start at noon. Our ride was 8 a.m. So we got some time to kill.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's kind of warm out too, a little humid, so ice cream makes sense.
I mean, I kind of think if it's 32 degrees, Phil would still want ice cream, so.
Yeah, that has happened before.
Right?
If they're open.
I'm sure, yeah, right, exactly. So, hey Phil, last time I was looking under the bridge, I saw a porcupine. I don't see one right now, just fish.
Are you missing Moenzi?
I'm missing Moenzi. I wish he was here. If you're interested in seeing some of the porcupine videos, you can definitely check out some of the other videos. You can get to know Moenzi. I think I'll be okay a couple of days without her, but definitely miss the cute little girl.
I think I'd be a little concerned if I saw an African crested porcupine pop up underneath this bridge.
Yeah, especially if it wasn't on a leash that I brought her here. And I think park rules probably don't necessarily appreciate porcupines in the park, mainly cat and dogs. So good thing we left her at home.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what was that, Lindsay? Just kidding, she's not in the backpack. She probably put a hole in it.
Yeah, she poked right through that.
Exactly. We've completed 23.2 miles of the Buckeye Trail from our house to this point, and we are just now entering the Little Loop in Northeast Ohio. So the cool thing about this point is it has a three-way intersection, so you can go to the right or you can go straight ahead. So one of the few places on the Buckeye Trail where you have a three-way intersection. So we're actually going to go up, take a right so that we can head south towards the Akron area for our campsite tonight, Ottawa Overlook backcountry sites. And then in the morning we're going to get up, come back this way and head north because we want to take it clockwise, get up to Lake Erie, check out that scene, and then eventually loop back through the Akron area. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. There's a cool sign here in Brecksville Reservation that kind of commemorates the 50 years, 10 years later, 60th anniversary of the Buckeye Trail. started in 1959, so super cool. So we were in Medina, so we walked up here to the Medina area, and then we are going to tuck down just a little bit to camp tonight, and then the plan will be to do the northern little loop to go all the way around it clockwise and right back to where we started. So happy 60th anniversary Buckeye Trail. Excited to take advantage and go for a hike to celebrate your birthday. So come on, let's go. We just passed Ottawa Point Picnic Area up there, but there was a party going on, so we didn't want to do a film there. So the respectful thing to do is when you have the campsites, you can go up there, use the restroom, get water. It's about a quarter-mile hike down the Buckeye Trail, but you want to make sure that you're watching out for the people who are there, so not causing any issues, being only getting that what you need. But here we are. We finally made it to Ottawa Overlook Backcountry site right along the Buckeye Trail. And the cool thing is that it's set up in the nice little camp triangle. So when we come in, we're going to see the food storage, so an AT style bear hang pole, and then the kitchen area. So the idea is you want to cook separate from where you're hanging your food, and then sleep separate from where you are cooking, so that the animals, we don't really have too many bears that come through. Every once in a while in this area we do, but primarily raccoons, those kind of things. So we'll show you all of these areas. And we are actually camping in Site 3 tonight. So come along and we'll show you all of the areas.
Are we there yet?
Almost, almost. I know you just want ice cream, but it would melt. So we have to get things set up, and maybe we'll walk and get ice cream if you're good.
Okay.
So the nice thing is that the camp is set off the trail a little bit, so if people are just hiking by, they're not necessarily going to see your tent or anything that is set up unless they themselves are coming back here to be able to hike. But you do have to get a permit. It's free, but give at least 2 weeks to be able to get that permit. And the cool thing about this site is it's meant to be educational and give you ideas of what's going on. So the AT style bear hang pole, so you don't have to throw a rope and hang your food. It's set and ready to go, and we'll show you how to hang food up here a little bit. But you can see the post to be able to put our food up. So we will definitely utilize this. And if you've never done it, some instructions on how to do it. And then if you come this way, we have the kitchen area and home for tonight. So the nice thing is that the areas are spaced out a couple hundred yards. That way, again, we're spacing it out using that good camp triangle where your food storage, where you're cooking, is separate from where your tent is. So some nice benches to be able to cook on, to be able to sit. Ideally, all of the groups are coming here to be able to set up their kitchen area, so not cooking again in front of your tent. We want to separate those areas. So we will have dinner here tonight. And you can see this camp triangle that I was mentioning. So they promote it here as well. So campsite separate from kitchen, separate from where we are storing our food. So good information out here on all the signs on the Buckeye Trail at Ottawa Overlook Backcountry site. So let's go to tent site number 3. So tent 3 is a little bit further, but we'll stop off in 2 just so you can see it. So site number 1 and site number 2 are natural surface. So you just take your tent out, put it on the ground, you're set, ready to go. Keep it in the perimeter that they have established. We don't want to make the area too spread out. Campsite 3 is actually going to be a raised deck. So if you know which one you want, 1, 2, or 3, you can request it when you make the permit, depending on availability. Should be a full house tonight. When we got our permit, this is actually the only one that was left. So hopefully lots of people are out using the backcountry site. campsite number 3, the Perch. That's where we're staying tonight. So you can see it's raised deck. We can put tents up there. You can have up to 2 tents, and the cool thing is they have these little hooks down there, so you can use it for your guy lines to be able to stake out your tent. So your stake lines, your guy lines. So this will be camp tonight. So thanks for joining us as we got to Ottawa Overlook Backcountry sites. More to come. Unfortunately, Phil is a bit of a mosquito magnet. We sat down and I don't know if you can tell, but they are like swarming him.
Yeah, I think I get 10 times as many bug bites as Rachel does whenever we do these trips. I don't know if it's because I breathe more carbon dioxide, breathe out more carbon dioxide, but something about it. I definitely draw a lot more bugs than Rachel does.
Trust me, I don't mind. So we'll see if he ends up in full rain gear tonight or if he just swats away.
Yeah, I'd hate to put it on right now. It's still pretty humid out.
As we get ready to unload our backpacks to be able to set up our tent, I wanted to show you, as I talked about earlier, that when it comes to backpacking, everyone has personal preference. So some people like one way, some people like another. So typically, I'm what you would call a compartmentalized backpacker, where I have everything in its own separate stuff stack and I stack it in here. However, some people prefer more of the trash bag method. Now, like I said, I'm more the do more of the compartmentalizing, but a lot of people tried to talk me into doing the trash bag method, so since it was a short trip, I decided to do that. So if you're doing the trash bag method, the last thing you do is to make sure it's nice and watertight is you twist this and then stick it in your backpack, and then essential stuff like rain gear, snacks are going to be on top of it, things that don't have to stay waterproof. And then the idea is everything inside of here is waterproof, so you don't have additional bags, you have all of your stuff. So jury's still out on which way I like. We'll see if I switch to go to trash bag method or if I do the compartmentalization that I've typically done. But just want to show you a couple options that are available when it comes to packing your backpack. We're going to hang our food up for tonight. We're actually going to go for a little bit of walk, but we want to make sure our food's not left at our campsite while we're gone, just in case an animal comes by. So if you're leaving for a little bit, proper thing is to hang your food and then of course hang it for tonight. So the easiest way to use this style is to take it down. We have a waterproof bag, that way if it rains, it's not too bad. I'm going to put it on one end of the pole and then hoist it up, bring it down over it, and you are good to go. Use the other one, and you can put multiple on the same one. You don't have to all take your own. So for ease, we're just going to set it here, but we could put multiple on the same one. So having a big strap like these waterproof bags makes it easier. If you have strings, that works too. But sometimes the string likes to go together, so one that buckles works pretty well. So our food is secure, ready to go. We can go for a hike, and then when we come back for dinner, we can grab them down and then store them up here for tonight. So,
because who doesn't want to go on a hike after they just went backpacking?
Well, the truth is there are a lot of mosquitoes in our campsite, and Phil's getting eaten up, so we're going to move around. We'll see where we end up.
So, when's the last time you were on a swing set? Go try something new today. We were walking through the park and Phil said, I haven't been on a swing in a long time, so.
We're like, have we ever even been on a swing set together?
I don't think we have. So here we go. Glad to be on the Buckeye Trail and trying something new. Day 2 of Section 2 of the Buckeye Trail. This was our campsite last night. Phil's packing up, and we're going to be hitting the trail soon. We came out from the Ottawa Overlook Backcountry campsites from there this morning. Came up here. There's your latrine, so if you can use the restroom, about a quarter mile away. Come up the path. This is where the shelter is, but it's reservable, so not a hangout spot. And there is our water source.
After a good night's rest, we're back at the intersection just by Deerlit Cave. And it's not too often on the Buckeye Trail that you see 3 marks. You can go left, you can go right. So this is where we're going to go ahead and take the northern clockwise route of the little loop. So here we go towards Lake Erie. Not today though. admit this is one of my favorite places in Brecksville Reservation, just because the scenery looks so cool. You really feel secluded. You're away from the traffic, and you really feel like you're deep into the woods. So definitely take time to appreciate this area in Brecksville Reservation. Officially leaving Brecksville Reservation, a beautiful creek going across, and the national park just on this side of the road, and we'll see the train station and the Cuyahoga River. We just reached Brecksville Station off of the Buckeye Trail here in Cuyahoga Valley National Park. So you can see the train runs along here. It actually follows along the Ohio-Erie Towpath Trail. So we're going to be on that trail. Cool thing about that trail, if you're unaware, is it goes from the Ohio River near Cincinnati to Lake Erie in Cleveland. You can't get all the way to Lake Erie yet, but in a couple years you'll be able to. So we're going to start on the Ohio-Erie Towpath Trail as we continue on the Buckeye Trail. So kind of cool how the two trails merge into one. So come along, and we're going to cross over the Cuyahoga River. Cuyahoga River is a U-shaped river, so it's one of the few rivers that actually run south and then north again, so it empties in Lake Erie. So we're going to follow the trail along the Cuyahoga River, and it's actually this year celebrating its 50th anniversary since the river caught on fire, and it's made huge comebacks. It's cleaner, you can actually start to eat the fish out of the river again. It's a huge success on the 50th anniversary since it caught on fire. Go Cuyahoga River on the 50th anniversary, Buckeye Trail on the 60th anniversary.
So we're walking along the Ohio-Erie Towpath Trail, and the old canal is on the right, and we saw this beautiful blue heron just grooming itself. To the left is the Cuyahoga River, the trail we're taking, the Buckeye Trail and Ohio-Erie Canal, and the really cool heron. Very cool. Oh, so cool.
One of my favorite trees are the sycamore trees. And typically you know them because they're white up top. So the more mature ones in the background are white up top. But as you come to some that are a little bit younger, so in the background you can see one that's just starting to peel. But these right here by their leaves, you can tell that they're also sycamore trees, but they're not white up top. So it's something that I'm realizing happens as a sycamore tree ages, you start to see the white. And if you're not still sure what a sycamore tree looks like, you can see that this is the leaf. So you can start looking at the shape of the leaf. But the better way to tell for a mature tree is that it's white up top. And so if you're starting to feel kind of sick, like a sycamore tree, you might be white or pale up top, and that's how you know it's a sycamore tree. Always growing by the water, so you can hear the water flowing in the back. If you see a sycamore, there's water nearby. As a backpacker, that could be a useful tip in the future. We're just leaving the Ohio-Erie Canal Towpath, and we are going to be headed into Bedford Reservation. We're here at the House. And if you have to use the restroom, there's a nice latrine here as well. So a nice stop before you enter Bedford Reservation. The trail meanders around this ravine, but make sure you take time to look at it. Cool little waterfall coming down. Take a look all the way over, but make sure you don't fall. It's a steep way down, but a super cool waterfall to take in while you're out here.
And the rain is starting.
Yes, the forecast does not look good. We're going to feel like we're under that waterfall in just a little bit. Light rain and then big heavy rain for about the next 6 hours. So we'll see how far we make it today.
I see you just put your pack cover on.
Yep, want to make sure everything's well protected. So we have our pack covers. Again, personal preference if you carry a pack cover. If you use the trash bag method, some people don't use it. I still prefer to use the pack cover. Rain jacket's inside. It is hot and humid, so don't feel like putting the rain jacket on just yet, even though it is raining. We'll see if I change my mind later.
Happy times on the Buckeye Trail.
That's right. It may be raining and we had to put our rain jackets on even though it's a little hot, hence the sleeves rolled up, but we're still smiling just like the blaze. We look alike, don't we? Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough. So we'll continue our way through Bedford Reservation. There are really cool ravines through here, so you are up high now, so you get to take in all of the beautiful scenery of the ravines, and soon we'll head next to the river and continue along that way. So super cool in Bedford Reservation. The all-purpose trail for just a little bit as we hit Alexander Road parking lot, and then we're going to continue up on the all-purpose trail a little bit and then hit some more natural surface trail. So Bedford Reservation is a long reservation, so we'll be in it for a little bit, pretty much the rest of this trip. What do you do when it rains on your parade? You just keep going with a smile on your face. I don't know if you can tell that it is pouring buckets out right now. We're soaked to the bone, but it's all about the attitude we choose, and we are choosing to have fun today on the Buckeye Trail. We are going to continue on the Buckeye Trail as long as it doesn't go on the mountain bike trail, which I don't think it does. If it does, we'll deviate. The mountain bike trails at Bedford do close, so we don't want to break any of those rules. So no mountain biking, no hiking. So as long as it stays off the mountain bike trails, we'll go forward. Otherwise, we'll deviate off of it a little bit. So come along in our fun, awesome, rainy day on the Buckeye Trail.
The magnitude of the falls, it just takes your breath away. So beautiful. You can hear it, it's so loud. I've never seen it quite this full.
It's still raining buckets and we are soaked from head to toe, but we finally made it to Egbert Shelter here at the end of Bedford Reservation, all the way from Ottawa Overlook Backcountry sites this morning, and then from 303 and Medina Line Road the day before. So 303 Medina Line Road to Egbert Shelter in Bedford Reservation completes section 2 of our Buckeye Trail section hike. Come along with us next time when we decide to do section 3 starting here at Egbert. Until next time, find your next adventure. I'm Rachel, behind the camera is Phil, and we are Adventurous Heart. So the coolest thing happened when we were driving back today from the end of our section 2 hike. We happened to see a thru-hiker walking through in the same exact spot I saw someone 2 years ago. So we came home, grabbed a shower, and then found Lucas out there. So Lucas,
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing?
I'm from Cincinnati, 18 years old, trying to be the youngest person to thru-hike the Buckeye Trail, the whole entire thing.
So youngest, I didn't realize that. What's the current record?
I don't know,
Something
somewhere in the
older.
30s, yeah.
Somewhere in the 30s, all right.
Yeah,
So you're
no one's gonna compete with me.
I like it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so you started in Cincinnati.
Yep.
20? Would you say 20 days ago?
Yeah, 20th day right now.
20th day. Awesome. Very cool. So the youngest thru-hiker on the Buckeye Trail, hopefully.
That's right.
So we're so excited to be able to see him out there today. So brought him home, fed him, and then back at the same spot at the Equestrian Center tomorrow morning. So good luck, and hopefully you get that record.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Awesome, cool. Well, thanks everybody, and again, Adventurous Heart. We're section hiking the Northern Loop, and he is going to thru-hike the entire thing. Cool. Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate it.